Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. 'Twas blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fear relieved. How precious did that grace appear the hour I first believed. Through many dangers, toils, and snares, I have already come. 'Twas grace that brought me safe this far, and grace will lead me home. When we've been here 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, we've no less days to sing God's praise than when we first begun.
Then she felt it was a responsibility to be more careful about the rest of the money and then she felt lost without any medical work, so money and she both decided Baba would always help the poor, opened up clinics. So why don't you open up clinic here for the people now really do for the poor people?
Till Baba dropped his body, there was no dispensary here. But I would keep all the medicines, equipment, everything for any emergency. Baba would always allow me to treat any emergency that came from villages. And after Baba dropped his body, I was so disgusted with medicine. And so, thinking that what use is medicine when I couldn't help Baba, it was very frustrating for me. So I sent all the medicines to the Salvation Army Hospital.
Oh, go.
After that, we went to Pune for the Great Darshan, and I told all the mandli here that I'm not going to practice medicine anymore now. I don't have to do anything with medicine. So after I returned from Pune, after a month or so, errors and money and all that, I said, look, Baba was always wanting me to do medicine, and this is the one thing that you can do to please him. So again, I had to start on a small scale. So one of these rooms which are used by the men mandli, very tiny room, just next to the hall, mandli hall, I used that as a dispensary. And in the year 69, 70, there were not many Baba lovers coming. So, and word went round in the village, so I would get 30, 40 patients in the morning. I alone was there doing dressings, injections, taking history, giving them the treatment, whatever it was. Gradually, as the number started increasing, I moved from this, because Baba lovers started coming in. So I didn't want the Baba lovers to be mixing with the patients, because any infection they could bring. So I moved to the end of the corridor, and where it used to be Kaka Baria's room.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. 'Twas blind, but now I see.
Kakavaria's room was used to store first aid medicines and little medical equipment for minor attendance to wounds and other things. And some Baba lovers had come, and one of them donated some stone benches to Mirazad. So some were put in the gardens, which are still there, and about one or two, I think, were put at the end of the veranda. The patients would sit there. So she donated a fair sum for the clinic, and Nariman chipped in with the rest, and this dispensary got built. The most needed medicines were stocked, and the best of them. And Goher herself used to go to the market and purchase these drugs from reliable sources like wholesalers and all that, to get them at a discount for charitable purposes. And so it continued. It began to grow more and more. So, and Goher, of course, was as busy as ever, running from here to back to the women's side and attending to Mera, attending to other duties. And at that time, Katie was of great help to Goher. She came after that and settled down at Merazad after retiring. As regards relationship of Katie with Goher, they were both sisters, of course, and they got along very well because of the understanding. So between them, they managed the dispensary for quite a long time without assistance. So she would help Goher maintain accounts, because Baba wanted accounts to be asked us to be very particular about accounts and money matters. So Katie was meticulous about keeping accounts, calling for medicines, seeing the stocks, everything she managed on behalf of Goher. Of course, Goher helped her. And so this is how it was started.
Secretary work, I come here, Goher teaches me to be a nurse now. So I'm learned to give injections, do dressings, attend to the wounds, which I would never see the bloody side in all this blood and the dressing. Sometimes they would sting so bad, the wounds would be so bad, festered, One old man had such a bad gangrene, I had to dress him outside because the whole clinic was smelling with his food. And we gave them free treatment, free medicines, free injections, and free tonics and things.
Katie and I would fight a lot over injections. She would always take the fat, juicy ones and give me the skin, bony ones. Because they're always tough, So then we decided, we came to a compromise, 50-50.
So this clinic work began to go on smoothly. Pendu devoted his morning times to come here and enter the patients' names and hand out case papers. He started to keep a file of the case papers. so that there would be no duplication, and so on. And he kept doing that work till he couldn't do it any longer. After that, of course, he asked me, when my family came and settled down here in 1990, then one of my duties was to keep an account of expenses, a sort of cash book. There were 2 doctors hired at the beginning, then a 3rd doctor came, and so it began to become bigger and bigger. More and more villages started to come. From almost 40 or 50 villages all around, people started to flock because they were getting first-class medicines and first-class care and treatment.
Now we are covering 60 villages. We only cover what we intended to work for the Pimplegaon village. 60 villages. People from Bombay and Pune are coming. When I used to work there with Goher, and I said, you don't have to come here from Bombay and Pune. You have so many doctors and hospitals. Why don't you go there? We'll be working till 2:30 in the afternoon. We had so many patients here.
'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fear relieved. How precious did that grace appear the hour I first believed. Through many dangers, toils, and snares, I have already come. 'Twas grace that brought me safe this far, and grace will lead me home.
The loving care that they got here, they felt that this was the place where they would get cured. As a doctor, she was excellent. Her diagnoses were always good, and she was an excellent doctor in all spheres. More and more crowds started to come. The new clinic site was chosen. Goher and other women and men went there for ground digging. I was also there. Goher did all the meticulous planning of and layout of the clinic. She designed it beautifully. Some architect was taken to construct the building, and they did a very great job of it. There are gardens there. It's a very celebrous surrounding with the seclusion hill overlooking it.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. 'Twas blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fear relieved. How precious did that grace appear the hour I first believed. Through many dangers, toils, and snares I have already come. 'Twas grace that brought me safe this far, and grace will